Hey folks, so we have another little video we're going to work on here today. Radio, not a video, but a radio. This one was a radio that was gifted to me by Mr. Lauren, and once again I have to say thank you immensely. This radio has issues with dirty controls. Needs to be cleaned up. And when you first turn the radio on, you get that little flash, little boop boop sort of thing. And also on this frequency earlier this morning, 8906, I had an estimated reading of like S10 with humongous amounts of static and noise. When I tuned my TS440 to the same frequency, there was no noise at all. The S10 signal, I was getting that even with the antenna disconnected. So we have a power supply issue with the radio. You may hear like a hum in the background. So the power supply certainly needs some work. So we're going to start with that, see if we can sort out the noise on the radio, power supply. The meter, also the bulb light behind the meter don't work, so we're going to try to I'm going to try to replace that while we're in there. But yeah, this is the Kenwood R5000. Okay, so this is the internal guts of the or I should say the R5000 receiver. As you can see, it's a lot different than what's in the TS440. Humongous difference. Anyway, long story short, here's our power supply section right here. So the first thing that pops in my mind is we have a pretty good bulged filter cap right there. That being a 15,000 UF 25 volt electrolytic filter capacitor. So the first thing we're going to do is figure out how in the large up and downs do we get this here circuit board out of this here board, out of this here radio. It's going to be fun, I'm sure. So we got, what we got going on here? We got two screws here. We got a screw over here. Got a screw over there in that corner hiding away. And maybe that's it. I'm going to disconnect a couple plugs here, but we'll see how that goes. Alright, take a couple screws out here and see if we can't remove this board. Okay, so to get the board out, I had to indeed remove all the connectors from this board. That one, that one, that one, that one, that one, that one, that one. So, you can get it out. So anyways, what I'm going to do now is remove this capacitor from the board here. Because guaranteed it's definitely bad. Okay, so replace this 15,000 MFD electrolytic 25 volt, and I put a 18,000 MFD 25 volt capacitor in its place, and right away I noticed there's no hum in the background at all. I'm going to turn the radio on. No hum in the background at all. So this capacitor was definitely bad. For sure. Okay guys, capacitor's replaced. Well, as you know, I've also replaced the LED, or the light behind the meter. And basically what I've got done here to cut down on the amount of current going to the bulb, I have a 150 ohm resistor put in series with one of the bulb wires. Dims it a little bit and helps cut down on the current, which keeps it from blowing the bulb. I'm going to do that with the 440 here now in a minute. I'm going to replace the bulb in that one. I was doing a little bit of research on the radio, a little bit of work, figuring out stuff on it and whatever. One thing I was reading on is the radio gets hot. It gets hot because this heatsink and these two regulators here, you got 7810, 7805, two voltage regulators, and this heatsink gets really hot. And some people move the regulators from the back, or from here, to the back of the actual radio. So I got a heatsink here. I mean, I could, you know, put those transistors here, put a heatsink on back of the radio, you know, or I can mount the heatsink here internally, or I can just leave it alone, which at the moment is pretty much what I think I'm going to do. Leave it alone for now. The second thing I want to know about the radio is it possible to have external DC power so you don't have to run on AC line. And from what I was reading online and on the manual, service manual, yes indeed you can certainly run this radio on external DC. And there was a kit years ago for the R5000, and basically you just plug it into that jack right there, white and red, and there would be a plug that would plug in here, screw in here. You take this plate off here and there'd be a plug, just plugs there, run the wire, plug it in there, screw it on, you're done. There'd be your DC. So I'm going to keep an eye out for a plug that actually fits this. The original plug that fits this is the same type of, you know, an AC plug sort of thing that would fit here. Different type obviously, but you know. So I gotta try to find the same type plug, and then I'll use this hole here, obviously. I'm not going to drill any more holes in her. Heck with that. No need of it. And yeah. But I got the radio sorted out best I can. Keep keyboard bounce on these. That's another little mod I might do. Apparently you can get a couple 0.01 MFD ceramic capacitors, go between ground, and a couple diodes, you know, back on this board back here. You filter it out and help with the keyboard bounce on these radios. With the TS440, same thing. So yeah. Anyways, TS440 or R5000 is certainly working. There's no doubt about that. Yeah, he's a really nice, well-built radio, for sure. Other than these two guys here. Anyways, there you have it.